What up, YouTube? My name is Cheryce. Welcome to RyceTV. Glad that you're here. This will be my Legends of Tomorrow Star City 2046 review. That is a freaking lot to say, but I'm just going to get into it. Please be careful of spoilers. I'm just going to review this as I normally do with my usual OMG moments. And forgive me, because I'm about to get really black here. So if you have a problem with that, don't leave me. Please don't. So, OMG moment number 3. Wait for it. Even though my OMG moments are short, I have a lot to say. OMG moment number 3. Green Arrow is black. Of course, this was something that we already knew from the last episode. However, no one addresses the black elephant in the green hooded outfit in a room. Throughout this first scene, they continue to believe that this is Oliver Queen, and it got on my fracking nerves. Even after Sara says that this is not Oliver Queen, the rest of the team insists that it's Oliver Queen because it dresses like Oliver Queen and it shoots like Oliver Queen. No one takes his appearance into consideration. I mean, let's address their reasoning. It dresses like Oliver Queen. Well, Arrow fans know that not just Oliver Queen has worn the hood. To be more specific, both Diggle and Roy have worn the hood. So, this argument is null and void. Let's go to their second reasoning. It shoots like Oliver Queen. Okay, Roy is Arsenal. His weapon of choice, just like Oliver Queen, is a bow and arrow. He shoots just like Oliver Queen because he was trained by Oliver Queen. So that argument is null and void. So let's put their verbal reasoning aside and just say, well, maybe they didn't get a good look at his face. Okay. Both Arrow fans and Flash fans know that if the audience, meaning us, sees the face, then everyone that's around that subject sees the face. If the audience doesn't see the face, then everyone around that subject cannot see the face. Perfect example was when the Flash answered Patty's fake distress call. At first, he appeared to her in a blur. Then, when she told Barry the nature of the distress call, his face was no longer blurred to both the audience and to Patty. In this first scene of LOT, we get a good look at this Green Arrow's face. And yet, they still insist that this is Oliver Queen. Look, I'm into equality, but not when it takes away our uniqueness, our individuality. Dancing around the subject of his appearance just looked like they were afraid to point out the obvious. And I'm not saying that they should blatantly say, well, he's black, so he can't be Oliver Queen. However, insinuate it, tease it, have fun with it. You have a cast full of people of different ethnicities. Why not have fun with it? It's going to happen. Racial issues are going to happen. Stop being afraid to tackle these things. Even in Justice League, the animated series, they tackled racial issues. If you saw John Stewart alone, he's tackling racial issues. You know, I can see Snart telling Jax to talk to this Green Lantern because he looks like his people. And I can see Jax say, what do you mean that he looks like my people? And then I can see Rip breaking up the conversation before Snart can explain himself. OMG moment number 2. Old man Oliver Queen. He comes complete, so to speak, with one arm, a beard, and a Christian Bale Batman accent. They were obviously trying to stay true to the comic with his beard. But by trying to stay true to the comic, they didn't stay true to the show from which this Oliver Queen is based off of. And by doing that, they once again exclude Arrow fans. You know, there's a reason why us Arrow fans jokingly call the show Harrow. It has to do with Oliver's many changes in hair, and that includes his beard. In the show, the longest that we've seen Oliver's beard was while he was on the island. There was a point that while he was on the island, he had a beard that was very reminiscent to Tom Hanks in Castaway. And this episode would have been a great episode to bring that beard back. Especially since you're trying to portray him as a broken old man who has been living in his lair since at least the smoke technology was moved from the lair to storage. And OMG moment number 1. Connor Hawke is not the Green Arrow's real name. His real name is John Diggle Jr. This is a possible spoiler warning to all those who watch Arrow. Are you ready? Okay. Lila is the one that's in the grave on Arrow. Of course, this is just speculation, but judging by how John Diggle Jr. shares no resemblance to Lila and the timeline, my guess is that Lila is in the grave. However, this reveal is not all bad. Before this episode, there was a lot of talk within the Arrow community about Connor Hawke not being Oliver's son in the show. However, this twist gives room for William, Oliver's son in the show, to adopt the name. However, I feel like this show made it very clear that William will never be Oliver's successor. When Oliver says to John Diggle Jr., either way is Green Arrow, I felt like this was an official canon statement from the show that John Diggle Jr. will be the next Green Arrow. Of course, if Arrow were to run as long as Supernatural. So, final thoughts. You can tell that the set was this episode's baby. I can tell that they put a lot of thought into the details of the set, making it something new, yet something very familiar. To me, the set felt like Back to the Future 2 meets Mad Max. I just wish they put as much thought in the script and the makeup. We, the audience, do not know what Star City 2046 is supposed to look like. However, we know what an old man looks like, and we know what good storytelling sounds like. And outside of the subplot involving Captain Cold, as always, it felt like there was little to no thought put into the story. It felt like they were depending on writing on the novelty of Old Man Oliver Queen. However, Old Man Oliver Queen wasn't even done well. Stephen Amell, God bless his heart, carried this character as best as he could, but the makeup wasn't believable. I read another reviewer's critique about how Oliver was pretty spry for an old guy. I watched this episode twice, and I believe that Oliver is spry enough for someone who has been a vigilante for at least half of his life. However, I do believe that he is pretty spry for someone who has been out of commission for 15 years, let alone without an arm. Perhaps we can argue that it was all muscle memory, that it was like riding a bike. But this was something that I wanted to be in the conversation when he comes back to fight with Sara. I wanted to know why Deathstroke Grant Wilson only took Oliver's arm and not his life. I wanted to know how John Diggle Jr. came up with the name Connor Hawke. However, LOT decided that a needless love triangle was more important than any of these explanations. As if a 1 week break away from the 3 months ago I was just a barista speech was 1 week too many. And that's the end of my review. Tell me, what do you think? Leave it in the comments below. Please like and share this video. I make a video every week, so please subscribe so I can see you next time. Bye-bye.